Okay, hello, Joe Franco here, and today we're going to discuss bent over row. It's a fine back exercise that everyone, I think, should master from beginners to the most advanced. And the nice thing about this exercise, there's a variety of ways of performing it. You can use a barbell with an underhand or an overhand grip. You can use dumbbells, also mixing up the grips, and I'm going to try to go over the few today. And to make sure that the form is proper, because this exercise you'll see a lot of people using loose form. And what I mean by that is just swinging the weight so they can just move heavier weight. Well, the issue with that is that if you're a beginner, you really don't have the mind-muscle connection built in yet. And what happens, you just end up using your biceps or throwing out your lower back or just using so momentum, there's less muscle. You know, my old saying goes, the more momentum there is, the less muscle that you're using. So you want to do it slow and controlled, learn the exercise, feel it, have the mind-muscle connection before you perform any loose form. And also try not to use any wraps, because you also want to try to have your body learn to pull with the elbows, throwing the chest out, arching the back, using the lat muscles, because you're hitting the latissimus dorsi muscles. You're hitting the rhomboids and the traps a little bit, and a little bit of rear delts. It's a fantastic movement. First and foremost, a lot of people will use the regular barbell to do this exercise. I prefer taking a palm up grip. That's only because, to me, I think I'm getting a greater range of motion. I'm feeling it that much more. But you would think I'm using my biceps. I mentally and I physically think about just pull with the elbows. I'm thinking my hands are hooks. They're hooking onto the weight and I'm rowing up with the elbows. So therefore, I'm just squeezing the scapulas together, the two backbones together, contracting the back muscles. And with the underhand grip, you just get a little bit more range of motion than opposed to on top, where your shoulders will be involved and it's a little bit shorter motion. Stance is most important after you find out your grip. You know, shoulder width grip, power grip, where you're going to lift the most weight. Arms are hooks. You're just holding on. You're pulling with your elbows. And then from that point, basically you want to be in a ski position. That's why I like to tell people your knees are always soft and your back is arched. So pretty much your knees are slightly bent, your back is arched by keeping your back flat with your chest out. Now, the difficult part is to lean over. How far should you lean over? I typically say the further the better, only because that exposes your back. Because if you're up tall and you're rowing, well, you're doing a shoulder exercise, you're doing a shrug. The more you lean over, the more you expose your back, the more you're going to get a row. But you also want to protect your lower back. So it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. You're not going to you just don't want to be straight up, nor are you going to be bent at 90 degrees at your waist, only because it's going to hurt your lower back. And you're just going to fall forward. So it's a happy point. You have to figure it out for yourself. I mean, if you have a trainer or have a training partner, look at the right angle. I mean, you want to feel it. But just from a visual here, just using a light weight, I like to take an underhand grip. My knees are bent. Pretty much I'm lining the bar up, if I'm using a mirror or not, just below my knees, and I row. And every time you row and pull up, I'm breathing out, throwing the chest out. My arms are hooked, sticking and releasing. The bar's going right through me. I'm not aiming it towards my abdominal. I'm just going straight up. Okay? And from the angle here, same idea. Knees are bent, setting it up just below my knees, pulling up, throwing the chest out. Just rowing straight up. My hands are loose. I'm not gripping with a death grip. My hands are slightly loose, just holding onto the bar. Now you can do this exercise, hands on top. I mean, I'll throw this in once in a while. You're not going to lift as much weight, which is a good or bad thing, depending on when you're doing the exercise. And it's the same idea. Elbows out, just pulling with the elbows. Stretch and squeeze. Now, those are the basics for the bent over row, for the barbell. I mean, you want to stay focused, keep the back arched, throw the chest out, arms and hooks as you row. This exercise can also be with dumbbells. Maybe over the last year or so, I started doing this one. And to me, it's a great finisher because it actually increases the range of motion because you're not locked in with a barbell. You know, barbells are nice because you can lift more weight, there's some leverage. With the dumbbells, well, you get some little more freedom, so you get a greater range of motion. What I like to do is just take a natural grip. I won't force my hands in any direction, but just to have them fall So this is my natural stance. So I'm just rowing straight up. Straight up. And I get a little bit more range of motion because there's not a barbell here, and I can go in the direction of the lats naturally instead of being stiff, if you're using a barbell. So that pretty much sums up the bent over row with dumbbells, with a barbell. It's an exercise you will be able to lift a lot of weight after you master the form and you get comfortable. I mean, loose form is more of an advanced technique. I would not suggest it for a beginner. Try not to use any straps or anything. Let the back muscles take over and feel it. Okay, that pretty much sums up this exercise. Again, I'm Joe Franco. Any questions? fitfranco@verizon.net. Look for me on Facebook at Team Franco's page, and stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.